कॉन्वर्सेशंस छोटी पर इम्पैक्ट उतना ही बड़ा. सब्सक्राइब टू मेक सेंस क्लिप्स.
How did you land up here, or maybe how did you get called in this?
I think the momentum for all this starts in previous births, but I will not tell you all those stories.
Right.
In this birth, I was born in Bangalore, which is in South India. And my birth name is Ashwin Chekava.
Okay.
And then at around age 12, I met my guru because I was having a lot of bullying in my life. Like it was just getting out of control where I couldn't even enter my house from the front gate. I had to come from the neighbor's house on the other side of the road and then jump the wall to my house. I was getting exhausted just avoiding the fight because I had stammering and people would just make fun of me, and then I didn't like it. And one day I got angry and kuch hatapai ho gaya, and then after that, because this went on for 2 years. So from age of 10 till age of 12 this was going on, and I just had reached my limit. It was just like I didn't know what to do. My life is so difficult that I can't go out my front door, and my parents also can't do anything because my father spoke to those boys and they came back and then threatened me with a knife. And then they left some cuts on my body that if you tell your father, then we'll cut him up also. So this was the kind of energy people had back in the day, and they were using it only in negative things because they had nothing positive to use it in. So I was like, I need my way out of this. So one day I said, I'll just go and fight it. And if I die in the fight, it's okay. So I seriously injured so many of them, and but they overpowered me, and they were so angry that I injured some of them. They beat me even more. I had definitely I didn't have fractures, but I had some serious injuries. And they threw me inside a gutter and they smeared my face with cow dung. That much all happened. And I'm like, wow, what is my life? What is this karma? Like, what am I doing, right? So I told Shiva, like, listen, you can't just make it all back. You got to give me something to hold on to. I'll pull myself up. But there's right now nothing, boss. In your management, nothing. So I was really mad at Shiva. So suddenly some guy walked up to me and he's shining. His forehead is shining. I'm like, what kind of person is this? Why is shining like a light bulb, And he said, I'll teach you martial arts. I'm like, okay. When you'll teach me? Come to my house at 5 o'clock. Then he gave me the location of his house. And he said, I'm the watchman there. So he looked Nepali and he said his name was Julke. But which means Bahadur, by the way. It's not really his name. So then he said, I've murdered a few people in Meghalaya, and that's why I'm here, hiding from the cops. So meanwhile, I'll teach you how to fight. I'm an assassin, he told him. And I was like, wow, must. Then I went to his house. In the morning at 5 o'clock, he's sleeping. I got so mad, I threw stones at his window and everything. Sab kiya maine. Didn't work. So I went back. I bunked school and came back at around 10 o'clock, hoping he'll be awake. And he was. And then I told him, what happened? 5 o'clock I came, he didn't even open the door. He said, oh, sorry. And I'm looking around the room because I really want to solve the problem. I found the dog's leash. I said, you put your leg in this and sleep. And I'll tie a rope to it. And I'll come in the morning and pull the rope from outside your room. So I don't have to shout. Because first day when I was shouting, the owner opened the door. And he said, my watchman is sleeping, you go. Owner is watching for the watchman. I thought, it's not normal, right? So I said, maybe everything he's saying is true. And then he taught me how to fight. And then he just vanished one day. And then I became like a combat expert. Till today, I've taught the Marcos Krav Maga. I've taught my own close quarters combat to the Karnataka police, Tamil Nadu police, and whole lot of people, right? So, and I've trained more than 20 million children in how to protect themselves in India. So this much work I've done because of what he taught me then. And I've also protected my life in so many situations because of the knowledge of martial arts which he gave me. But then what happened is that he vanished, and then I didn't know what to do. And then he came back again when I was 18. By the time I was 18, I had become so powerful because of the martial arts that I started a company when I was 13, a sales company, and it became very popular. We started making so much money that I started making more money than my parents, and when I was 18, I bought my parents a house. And then I was like, wow, this problem is also solved in advance.
Hmm.
Like parents are not going to tell me what to do anymore, you know. And they didn't after that. But my dad only asked me to leave the house when I was 21 or something, because he just was frustrated with me being so unteachable according to him.
Hmm.
But I was learning. I was learning from everywhere. But at 18, I was learning so fast that I thought everybody else is stupid in comparison.
Hmm.
And I was getting frustrated that why am I not finding intelligent people of my caliber who I can hang out with? But it was not happening at all. So it was like being alone in a desert.
Hmm.
So I said, I want to just leave this body and see what happens. Because I know I can hold my breath 8 minutes. 8 minutes I was holding my breath then. I can hold my breath 8 minutes. So what happens if I hold 9 minutes? And I did it. I refused to breathe. I did not allow the body to breathe. I commanded the body, do not breathe. Because I want to see what happens.
Hmm.
If anything, if I don't come back, it's okay. Next, you just recycle yourself, and I'll meet you next birth. I told my body, and I got out. After the 8th minute holding breath, I was out only. I saw the consciousness going on, but the consciousness didn't go. It was outside. I was looking at my body from outside. And I'm feeling free because there's no body, there's no nothing, and I'm feeling infinite energy. If I will something, the energy is bubbling into that shape. If I just think a thought, then the whole room changes and it becomes that thought. So I was like, wow, what's going on here? I don't want to ever get back in the body. I'm going to be here and then I'm going to... But where's my body? What am I going to do? I was a little confused as to how to handle this bodiless state because there was no body. I kept looking down like how I look now and there was no body. And what am I looking from? I don't know. And the bell rang and I got pulled. I can feel myself getting pulled back into the body, you know, like how the sink is full and someone just removes the plug and all the water goes spiraling. So I'm feeling the spiraling feeling. And I'm like, I'm going back in my body. I don't know when I'll see the state again. Okay, bye, state. Hello, body. I'm back in the body and I can't bear the pain that has been caused over here because of no oxygen.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm breathing like this. Like this. Okay. And I came out on my force to see what's there. I'm like, am I going to live? Yeah, I'm living. I'm still okay. My heart is beating. Everything's working. Everything's working. My heart is beating. And I was like, wow, I should be dead. Because literally, I don't know how long my heart was stopped. Or my breath was stopped. I have no idea. And I came back and then everything is still working. And a little rusty, but everything's working. And it's in a lot of pain. And then he said, stand up. The doorbell was rung. That's how I came back in my body. I came out and Babaji is standing there and he said, stand up. And I'm like, oh, I stood up. And then he said some lot of things to me telepathically. It came like a rush and I realized I'll have to like analyze everything later. But I just took in all that information. And then he left. He gave me a Rudraksh and then he left. And my father said, throw the Rudraksh and all. And I just buried that Rudraksh in my house only. Because otherwise my father was a little bit fanatical about things. When he decides to do something, he'll do it. So if he wants to throw the Rudraksh, even if I hide it, he'll throw it. So I thought I'll just bury it in the house. Then he won't throw it. And after that, my father started making money.
Okay.
He became one of the top management consultants. And he was also a scientist. So he started getting called to different countries and everything happened as soon as I put the Rudraksh in. And even my career took off even more. I became a chain entrepreneur. All sorts of things happened. I was rolling in money. Basically, I didn't need money for anything. At that time, I got married around 23. Okay. And I got divorced at 32 only. So, in the 9 years of my marriage, I was extremely bored because I was again back to the mundane life, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that's a boring life for everyone, but for me, it was absolutely torture. I just couldn't do the same things. But one of the telepathic messages I got from Baba was go and get married and do normal things and learn to respect it because you're going to come back for it.
Oh.
It's never going to leave you. You're going to always be helping people who are stuck in this quicksand of samsara, you know.
Right.
Like how Buddha puts it. We call it Maya. So he would say that you're stuck. There are a lot of people stuck there and they need to get out. And if you don't know how to get out again and again and again repeatedly, you'll keep getting stuck. So that happened. I met Baba again when I was 32. Long story short, I went with him to Himalayas, and there only I found out that he's the MAHAVTAR Babaji that everybody keeps talking about. I had no idea, okay, because I haven't even read autobiography of Yogi even now. I asked Baba, have you read it? He said no. So I said, should I read it? He said no. So I didn't read it, okay, because I found it hard to read. It's really hard English, and then there were lots of things happening. I came back here, and then there was Sri M saying that his gurus also learned from Mahatar Babaji. Someone else saying their gurus learned. I found there were a lot of people whom he's met, and he's taught, and they don't know of each other.
Okay.
So then I asked him, Baba, how do you do so many things? How do you go to so many places, so many countries? He said, I go to many planets also. I said, what? And he said, yeah, he told me then that I'm the ruler of 18 planets, and Earth is one of them. So I said, wow. So I can do anything on Earth. He said, yes, you can do anything on Earth if you're my student.